And we're live. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Holy Crap, the Vlogcast. A Vlogcast that comes from a skeptical point of view to answer some of the questions of why. This Vlogcast started as a combination of spite and the Streisand effect because we love talking about Barbara Streisand. No, we don't. And we love the effect that she's had. Yes, we do. Part of this is to follow through with the old adage that sometimes the journey is more important than the destination. I'm your main host. I'm known as Shujin Tribble. You can find me pretty much everywhere under that name. That's Shujin. Hi. Short lineup at the moment. Should change, so we'll see how this plays out. From the Midwest of the U.S., where we can basically tell Mike Pence F you all day and night, and we usually do. Hi, Brigid.
Good evening.
Yeah, we're trying to... and a little off to the right. Joey, you made it.
I did tell you I would be right back.
Well, you weren't just right back. That's the thing.
Well, it took a moment because, ESET is a pain in the butt sometimes.
Yeah, but if I'd had to hold my breath until you got back, I'd be dead now.
Well, be glad that you didn't.
I didn't.
He's got a good point. So, yeah, we're back. Hi, everybody. It is Spooky Day. Yes, it is Spooky Day. It is Halloween. It is, okay, no, wait.
Happy Samhain Eve.
Yes. All right, no, wait a minute. Tomorrow
is Samhain. Or actually tomorrow for me.
Yeah.
Today for you.
Okay. November 1st is the Day of the Dead, right?
Right, but Samhain is October 31st.
No.
No?
Hold up a second. Let me double check that.
Yeah, you go ahead and do that while I finish this off. Hi, welcome to the show, everybody. If you're with us live, of course, as always, you can chat us up because we've got the live chat going over there. Stephanie, again, good to see you. Thank you for the update, by the way. That's a new one by me, and I'm sincerely hoping that what you're dealing with at this point is at least a positive step towards really handling all the stuff that's going on for you. So on behalf of all of us, hoping good for you. And Felix, hi. It's good to see you over there.
Sorry, you were correct. November 1st is Dia de los Muertos. It is also All Souls Day. November 2nd, I believe, is All Saints Day. And then, of course, October 31st is All Souls Eve.
Yep, there you go.
Yes, it's Samhain.
Yep. So pull out your copies of Coco, everybody. Wait, what was the other? Okay, wait a minute. There was another one. Damn, I don't remember what the name of the other movie was, because there's always these two different movies with the same overall premise that end up happening. There was another death thing. No, what was it? The Book of Life? That was the one that I absolutely love. That movie, The Book of Life, is wonderful. If for no other reason, then you can actually go ahead and say that one of the villains is voiced by one of the greatest voice actors there is out there, Ron Perlman.
Oh yeah, he is good.
Ron Perlman. Why the hell Ron Perlman was not in the MCU? I mean, I don't understand why they didn't use him.
I can imagine it probably has something to do with the whole he did do Hellboy, didn't he? Yes, he did.
Did what now?
Need to double check something real quick.
That's fair. Anyway,
yes, he did play Hellboy.
Yes.
So yeah, I think that would be the thing, is that being Hellboy kind of precludes him from participating in the MCU, because Hellboy is a different comic book franchise.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he could have portrayed. Whatever. Doesn't matter, because it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's how it is. Disney rules and all that.
I know.
The last time Disney worked together with a competitor was what? Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah. And they intentionally made Touchstone Pictures so they could do stuff like that. Way to go, Disney. Way to go. All right. So folks might be wondering, hey, Shu, what you going to be drinking for us tonight? Well, I've opted tonight that I'm going to be trying the Shock Top Belgian White. You know, the one with the orange with the mohawk on it.
I thought you
I
did that
love
one before.
him.
Yeah. I have not tried that one yet because as you can see, the lid is still on it.
Well, no, I'm pretty sure on another episode you have had that before.
I don't think so.
Don't remember.
I'm pretty sure.
This one says it's a twist top. Let's see how well I destroy my hand. Oh, it actually twisted off correctly.
We have the technology.
Yes, they're called opposable thumbs. It is the only thing that is keeping cats from taking over the world.
True.
Which is also a lead to the horrible scopes tonight. Don't worry, you'll find out about that. So tonight was also it's got nothing to do with anything else. Was the 22nd anniversary for a couple friends of mine, the folks that I go out with on. Oh wow, that's pretty nifty. On Saturdays anyway. They got married on Halloween because they love all spooky kind of stuff. You might remember last week's Horrible Scopes talked about that one guy that always loves to go through haunted houses and comment on everything. Yeah, he's the guy for me who did it like that and kind of got me to appreciate those.
Well, that's kind of cool, though.
Yeah. So, okay. So this is kind of,
Looks about right.
yeah. You'll forgive me. It looks like something.
Tang?
No. No.
I know what you're thinking.
Uh-huh.
But I don't think you've been that dehydrated recently.
Well, that cloudy, I'd be recommending some antibiotics.
Or ivermectin, perhaps?
No ivermectin, no.
Thanks, Brigid. Now I have reason to worry.
Okay. Right off the bat, it's not one of those things where I'm just going to go ahead and put it down and that's it. So, that's a plus. There is a good portion of it that kind of starts off as it's beer, but that goes pretty quickly. I don't know that I'm necessarily going to like this one, but I don't think I'm going to hate this one. And trust me, we know from a couple weeks ago, I have tried some stuff where I take a sip and then said, no.
Oh, you got up and dispensed with that like immediately. It was that bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that grapefruit tasting thing, that was one of them. All right. Well, anyway, you know what? It'll be what it'll be. So we'll Felix is well, yeah. Felix was saying, I think you had Shock Top, but not the orange one. Maybe. I don't really keep track of this. I really should.
I'm pretty sure you've had a Shock Top Belgian White before, but you said that one.
I know what it was.
That one has a different flavor to it, like.
Well, Belgian White. Let's see, Belgian style wheat ale, brewed with citrus peels and. I can't even read exactly what that's. Guys, a little hint. When you have light colored text on a white background, it's not gonna work really. Yeah, it really is. What I need right now, believe it or not, is a flashlight in order to. Yes, I am old, but that's not the entire reason why my eyes don't work the way that I would like them to. So you know what? Shut up. What the hell?
I didn't say anything, man.
Belgian style wheat ale. Okay, I'm on board so far. Brewed with citrus peels. Okay. And coriander.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's a spice.
Well, yeah, that's true. But
I mean, it's pretty common for people to. You'd be surprised at some of the things that go into different types of beers. Okay.
yes,
I mean, I would not.
That's
I would
fair.
not be afraid to find a beer where somebody has literally brewed it with Mike's Red Hot sauce because apparently the slogan goes, "I put that on everything."
Oh, God.
Yeah, there is that. I mean, hey, we found out one time that there's one group that decided that putting lactose sugar and calling it a milkshake beer is
Oh God.
yeah, that wasn't that good. And there was that jalapeno one,
Yeah.
not as good as it could have been, but again, I will say that jalapeno beer, if it had been served at a Mexican restaurant with Mexican or well, I'm going to say Mexican, not Tex-Mex, Mexican food, I could see it working. I don't know that it would be a great seller, but it would definitely be one of these, look, guys, I want to have something. I'm not driving. I don't want to try something that's kind of weird.
One of those things that you wouldn't necessarily mind it if your tongue was already coated in guacamole,
Perhaps. Perhaps.
which I have discovered guacamole. Pretty darn effective way of avoiding your avoiding ending up like a participant on Hot Ones.
That's a new one. I'll have to find out a little bit for that. All right.
Just let it coat your tongue a bit.
Yeah. I mean, milk does the same thing, probably.
So now that we've got this all started, excuse me,
And guacamole is tasty if it's done right.
that's true. That
I've
is
had
very
some really bad guacamole, and I've had some really amazing guacamole.
little tip, folks. If your avocado has gotten just a little bit brown on the inside, it's perfect.
But if you're getting your guacamole from your local 7-Eleven or gas station, walk away.
Yeah, do not purchase.
And your sushi. As an aside,
That
by the
too.
way, you should not buy frozen sushi from a big box store like a club warehouse kind of thing. Don't do that.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's probably not actually real sushi.
it could be. I looked at it and I just couldn't believe it. The BJ's up by me had it in their frozen section. I was just like, no, no, because if I want sushi, either A, I'll roll my own because I've got a bamboo mat for that, and I've got the nori sheets and I've got the vinegar, or option B, I could go a couple of blocks over to Wegmans and get the stuff that they make because oh my god, Wegmans is so good. If there's Wegmans near you, you deserve to try it out. Which means you would probably have to be somewhere here on the east coast of the United States right now, but a little at a time. Little at a time. I'm also going to try very hard to not cough. My heater has started to kick on recently, so there is a definite change in the relative humidity in the house. So if I'm a little dry, please forgive me. So how about I get us started and we'll kind of go from here because, I mean, it's showtime. So let's go ahead and do that. So with 5 minutes on the clock, your 5-minute freestyle starts right now. This week, ghosts. It's not what you think it is. It's not what you think it is, not by a long shot. I got the opportunity, as I've said, to, go check in on my little one off at college. And it's entertaining for me to go back to the college and see how things are doing over there. It's, things have changed. New buildings have gone up. Sections of buildings have come down. Some pieces are still the same. Some are not. Some where you used to have an actual physical key to open a door, now it's an electronic RFID tag built into your student ID. You know what? Things change. It's perfectly fine. I mean, I completely understand that. But as we know full well, ghosts are the memories that don't leave us. They hang around with us. They're still there, ready to go ahead and, just kind of poke at you just a little bit. And every time I go back to that college, I have ghosts of my time there. Admittedly, only 3 semesters worth, unfortunately. So, a year and a half. But it's that third one that's the most memorable for me. When we were at the school just recently, I had to take him out on Friday. Yeah, it was Friday. I talked about this before, that I had to drive him around a little bit because he needed to get blood work done, and it is what it is. But we're walking around, and I've got to be leaving a little bit, and we're walking around. It's a little dark, and we go around the section behind the library, and some things have changed. Again, like I said, some things have been built, some things have been taken down. There's fencing around the area because they're putting up new stuff on the roof line. But there's a section out there, a very, very specific place. It was a place that, before the end of that semester, I told my then girlfriend, who eventually decided it would be okay to be my wife, I told her that I wasn't going to be coming back to school. I knew right where that place was. And I still remember exactly what it was like sitting on that piece of concrete, holding her hand and telling her, crying, and watching the leaves on the ground just swirl around as if they were caught up in a whirlpool. And thinking to myself, that's kind of the same way that I am right now. I'm just caught in the whirlwind. There's nothing I can do about what's going on. I wasn't ready for college. I really wasn't. Which is really unfortunate for me, all these years later. But I got something out of it that I could never have imagined. I never, for the life of me, ever dreamed that I would find someone that would be the love of my life. I had no idea that that's what I was going to end up leaving college with. I never thought that I would be with someone. I always thought I was just going to be just me. I'm not going to have a kid. I'm not going to be married. I'm not going to have anybody with me that's going to matter that much. And yet I did. Now, yes, admittedly, it didn't last nearly as long as I would have liked, but even so, I have that. Ghosts have a tendency of being considered scary things. They come around, they haunt you, they follow you around, they want you to leave where they have decided that they're going to stay. Well, that particular ghost is me. It's in my head. It's a fabrication I know full well. It's made up of the memories that I've made and I've shared. And maybe just for this one particular situation, maybe this particular ghost ain't so bad. I'm glad to be able to have it. Episode 382 on the docket, Your Honor. Happy Spook Day. Yeah, we've done more than our fair share of stuff that's just, heavy-handed and just very kind of, we need an opportunity to just kind of kick back and relax a little bit and do fun for a change, because, shit, come on. Not all of us can be the way that I am all the time. So we'll deal with that. We'll have a little bit of fun. We'll talk about some of the things about Halloween, some of the things that we know about some of the lore. And we're not going to make any jokes about how to grip the handle of a broom when you're flying with it. So you witches are perfectly safe now. There's a joke in there somewhere. I'm sure somebody will figure out what it is. It's not a Power 10 episode. I can figure that one out for myself a little bit later. I did go up looking information on Rafe Badawi. Right now, there's nothing new, and I am exceedingly concerned. Mainly because, well, the last update that I had seen earlier in the month was that he potentially has symptoms of COVID, and a minimum of medical attention is not even given to most. So, with that in mind, with no new news, as of the recording of tonight's show, it is now 9 years, 4 months, 20 days out of a possible 10-year sentence. Rafe Badawi has not yet been released. We are still here. We are still hoping. We are still waiting. So with that out of the way, let's get into the much more fun, and then we can work from there. And we'll see how it plays out. So, the horrible scopes. Tonight, this works out good because Joey and I get to swap off which place we are in the list tonight compared to last night.
Oh, is that good?
It works out well because we don't have to fall flat on stuff that we've already said before. So,
Okay, glad I could help.
So, folks, for those of you that know what your astrological signs are, cool, great. Those of you that don't, make it up as you go along. I don't care. Roll a d12. If you've already got a d12, however, chances are you probably already know what your astrological sign is anyway.
Hey.
Just saying. I mean, it's more likely than it's not, right?
I guess.
You didn't say there was going to be math involved.
It could be worse. I could be asking you something like, how long does it take an RF burn to heal from an energized wire from a 100-watt transmitter? Don't think... Well, I mean, all right, that's biology at that point. It's not exactly math. All right, never mind. We'll come
Assuming
back.
it ever heals.
It doesn't. Get you rolling over here. Aries. Letting your freak flag fly wasn't the best of ideas this week, and writing that particular alliteration was really a bad idea on my part. People now have questions for you. The only way you'll get through them is to answer with confidence, as if everything is perfectly normal. Failing that, just refuse to say anything to the local constabulary.
Yeah. Yeah. You made me read that one last night. Payback's a...
Look at the dice, man. Just look at the dice.
Yeah, I'll let y'all figure it out. Y'all are grown.
All right, who's next?
Taurus. Times are tough. There's nothing wrong with enjoying some downtime through escapism. Video games are perfect for this, since you can be the worst character after you turn on all the cheat codes. At that point, you're the world's god. Remember that power and responsibility when you delete a world to start a new one. Wah.
I will not comment on the things that I have done in Minecraft, so... Gemini. Wanting to get in shape is one thing, but you need to be more careful of how you do it. Protein shakes as meal replacements are fine, but buying the ones that are Girl Scout Thin Mint cookie flavored was not a good idea. That jar was supposed to last you a month of lunches, not a week. Your true problem is impulse control.
For the record, yes, I actually had to do math for that one. Cancer Moonchild. Using those modified Nerf shock darts was a lot of fun. All the upvotes on Reddit for your DIY instructions must have felt great. Unfortunately, the courts didn't think it was that funny. We'll see you in 30 days.
Oh. Leo, are you ready for the upcoming Lightyear movie? First off, calm down. It's still half a year away. So now is a good time to get ready for it. Binge watching Toy Story 1 through 4, Buzz Lightyear of Star Command, and Buzz Lightyear of Star Command The Adventure Begins will take about a day and a half. But if you want to really hurt yourself, just watch the 1979 theatrical release of Buck Rogers in the 25th Century for 90 minutes. It looks like it'll be almost the same plot.
As a matter of fact, yeah, that's exactly what it looks like it's going to be.
Yay.
Virgo, some of those 3D prints you made don't look spectacular, but we've got a hint for you. If you warm nail polish remover so it evaporates, then blow that gas lightly against your plastic pieces, it'll melt and smooth out a little bit. Just be careful what you're heating it with. Remember, those fumes are flammable.
It's true.
And you'd prefer to learn that while you still have your eyebrows.
Beep, beep, beep. Am I missing an eyebrow? Libra. Artistry requires a careful mixture of creativity, bravery, insanity, and the willingness to break any rules you've learned. If someone tells you your music has too many notes, ask them which ones should be left out. If they say your photos have too many shadows, ask them where you should have put the sun that day. And if they complain that your Halloween decorations are too realistic, suggest they come back so they can do it better personally.
Scorpio. With the death of that bat in your basement, ownership and responsibility of the mortgage falls back to you. Yes, it might have died of starvation, but your pet cat has been looking really smug for herself. Unless you can convince animal control to do an autopsy to rule out homicide, you'd better sleep with one eye open for a while. What if it's a vampire bat?
Wait for it. Joe.
You bastard. How dare you bring my childhood into this? Sagittarius. Your poker face has gotten so good this week that you might be able to get away with murder and no one would guess it was you. As an aside, don't forget to pick up some fancy feast on your way home for your neighbor's cat. If you know what's good for you.
Capricorn. You need to step up your cooking game. Lasagna is not Italian layered cake. Bologna, or bologna, I don't care how you pronounce it, is not a 2D hot dog. And coffee is not burnt water, no matter how it smells.
You're wrong.
Actually, last night Joey corrected me. Properly, what is lasagna then?
It is Italian layered.
No,
cake.
it was. I had mentioned that it was more of a casserole, but I think it was Dalan that came up with the idea of what it truly was, and I can't remember for the life of me what it was off the top of my head.
It's an Italian layered pasta cake.
Spaghetti cake. That's what he said it was, a spaghetti cake.
It is, well, the noodles are wider. It's a pasta cake. And bologna is absolutely a 2D hot dog meat. Two-dimensional, I don't care what you say.
That's not true. There's a third dimension there. You're just not looking hard enough.
I will freeze some and I will throw it at people like I was Odd Job and see what happens.
Well, I will get some of the rag bologna that is not in slices and freeze it and put it in a sock.
All I'm gonna say
and swing it.
All I'm gonna say is, if you really want to practice your shotgunnery, a pound of bologna in the freezer is a lot cheaper than those skeet shooting discs. Just saying.
Joe, I'm now thinking to myself, you get yourself one of those big things of bologna that you'd find in the deli case before it's been sliced, freeze it, and remember that punt gun we were talking about last night?
Okay.
And
Okay.
added bonus,
Uh,
it's biodegradable.
It's true.
yeah. Yeah. And I'm just thinking, if you throw that out in the yard, what about all of the predator birds like hawks and stuff?
They know better.
Be like, party in the yard, yo. Aquarius, we're proud of you. Even with how crazy this year has been, you got out on your bike and you got yourself up to an impressive 29 kilometers per hour. That's 18 miles per hour for the metrically impaired. Sadly, a moose will still outrun you at 55 kilometers per hour, so don't piss off Mama Moose next time you're out.
Pisces, if you want to have a recording career, then just sing. Don't worry if it's not good enough for everyone else to hear, just sing. But don't write any more songs. Your style is stuck in the syrup-sweet pop sound of the 70s. Just don't do that anymore.
And for anybody that's keeping track, that is the second musical lyric that was put in there. Those of you that were paying attention should have caught that by now. Those are your horrible scopes for this week. Remember, if you liked it, I don't care, because you didn't bribe me. Remember, you can always bribe me and say, hey, I would really like a nice one for blah. But chances are that's not going to happen because you're cheap. If you want these, they will be posted online all over the place next week once I get around to writing the next ones. And, well, Lord knows, it's fun.
I hated that song, by the way. I liked Karen Carpenter, still hate the song.
Karen Carpenter was apparently a badass at the drum set.
Oh, yeah, she was.
I
just
never-
hated that song.
I never knew that.
Hmm.
I never knew that.
She would sing and play drums at the same time. 'Cause she didn't want to be like out front as the lead singer. She just wanted to play and sing.
Yeah. Yeah. But as we've come to learn, sooner or later there is going to be that one thing that everybody's going to remember you for. And you're probably going to hate it, but it's going to touch a particular segment of people, and you just got to ride that out because that's just the way that it works. And who did I learn that from? I learned that from talking with Mr. Peter Beagle, who wrote The Last Unicorn, because I got the chance to interview him some years ago. And he was a delightful gentleman. I do not say that lightly.
Very cool.
He was a good guy. Anyway, so Halloween. Oh, shit. How is it pronounced again? Smain?
Samhain.
Samhain.
Rockland.
See, I've always pronounced it the way that I had seen it. I had not.
Like Samhain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't know. You know, I speak American and Brooklynese, otherwise known as vulgar. I have learned a little bit of Spanish, so being able to properly pronounce it Samhain, I did not know because I was reading it the way that,
Well, I think is it Welsh or Celtic or something like that?
I believe it's Celt.
And their pronunciations are all over the place. I tried one time to take a language course on how to speak Welsh and gave up after 2 weeks. I went, not happening. One cannot wrap around it.
You made it a lot farther than I did. I gave up on Welsh after one place name.
I know which one you're thinking of, and no, not good. Nope.
Isn't that one that has like 50 or 60 letters?
Don't. That is the summoning spell for Cthulhu. We're not doing this. We're not doing this.
Darn. I can't pronounce it anyway, even after watching the video.
99% of the world's population can't pronounce it. And 13% minimally of the Welsh can't pronounce it.
And now that we've alienated all of our Welsh listeners.
Yes. So, Yeah, to that end, Stephanie, hi. To all your countrymen out there, sort of. I know, Wales is its own country. See, now that's the thing that kind of
Yeah,
drives me
but
up the
if you
wall.
trace the lineage back to the 900s, yeah, it's probably some Welsh in there, Stephanie. I'm sorry.
Hun, if I could trace anything back to the 900s, I would be dead. No, technically, I would be unborn. God, that would screw up the Mormons right there, wouldn't it? Eh,
Hey, they've got some serious geological records, dude.
there's a good point. There's a good point. So even though I'm gonna kind of pitch something at first, it is meant lightheartedly. Everybody dies. Okay, technically the book's name is Everybody Poops, but I mean the corollary is everybody dies. So if you stop pooping, you will stop dying. It's actually the other way around, but you know what? Who cares right now? I don't care who's talking about it. It's not the beer talking, it's me trying to go ahead and talk. The point is,
Chew.
yo,
Just because you died does not mean you stop pooping.
This is true.
this is true. This is true. I know. I know. I know. Anyway, the point that I'm trying to get through, however, is that culturally speaking, humanity has dealt with death in a ritualistic fashion. It seems almost as long as we've had some form of civilization. Now, the thing about it is that humanity is not alone in that. There are a number of species on this planet that have some form of recognition, maybe not necessarily ritualistic exactly, of death that seems to happen culturally. There are stories of, all right, maybe bad choice of terms for it, but murders of crows who will gather around a fallen member of the flock that's died and will take notice, and as a collective group they'll be there and they will, observe. If memory serves, I also believe that there are elephant prides. I forget what the right expression is for a collective of where, I'm trying to remember if it was a baby that died and the mother just did not want to let it go. And there are also reports of, I believe it was a whale or an orca that had a calf that did not survive, and again the mother simply would not let it go up to, I believe it was like 2 weeks. So, the fact that we have, culturally speaking, rituals of some kind to commemorate the passing of a life, that's something that is biologically inherited, I do believe. The big difference is that we seem to, humanity, I mean, we seem to have, and I say seem to, have the one additional piece of recognizing that once that light goes out, it is gone. And it was a very, very special piece of what made us all who we are. Now, I say seem to because it is entirely possible that some of these other species groupings have a similar or analogous realization, but we just don't know how to talk to them to try to find out. And that's part of the reason why I love watching Coco and The Book of Life. If you have not seen The Book of Life, oh my God, rent it, borrow it from somebody, please. The Book of Life is wonderful. Especially for the animation itself, but that's a whole other piece. I've talked on too many damned occasions of having lost my wife. I don't talk about the pets that I've lost over the years or the people that I've known that, are gone, which sucks. But we go and we do the best that we can with the folks that we've got. So what kind of fun do you guys want to talk about? As much as that can be for right there. After that, we'll definitely go into, childhood trick-or-treating and actual, try to figure out when the hell these damned companies decided that fun size was the way to go, because I want to stab somebody through the eyeball for that one.
How is it that the fun size candy bars are more expensive per?
Yeah, per unit.
Yeah, we lost you.
Yeah, just a little bit there, man. He might have gone and blown out his microphone.
No.
No, there you are. No, you're right. There is only one good side to the fun size candies. You can't hide a masonry nail in them. That's the only good side to it.
Apparently, I found out how to hide a masonry nail in my damn tire, though.
Oh.
Well, that wasn't a mason nail. That was a marker nail, wasn't it?
Close enough.
Yeah, fair enough.
I honestly was worried when I found out about that. Oh, I really hope that didn't, gouge the rim.
Ooh, good point. Yeah, that would.
Rims are very expensive.
Yeah, that would have.
Oh, I do want to tell people though that there's some kind of people have been saying, oh, be on the alert for people giving out, edibles to your kids in place of candy. And I'm like, no, dude, that would never happen. Edibles are freaking expensive.
Edible what?
Oh, they're talking gummies and Cheetos and stuff like that have THC in them. Yeah, edible cannabinoid things.
Yeah.
See, this is what happens when you discuss such things with a person who has absolutely no sense of drug culture whatsoever.
Well, I mean, you can get gummies, sour gummies and Warhead pops and things like that. Instead of smoking weed, you can get these products that are edible. And no, people are not going to be giving those out to kids for Halloween because it's like $60 for a tiny little bag of them. So no, they're not going to be giving those out for trick or treat.
Yeah, you've got a better chance of having somebody drop a 3-pound oversized singular gummy bear in your sack.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, those are crap. I forgot how big those things actually are. Are they 6 pounds? There are a couple of different sizes that are just ginormous. Plus the gummy worms that, if memory serves, will be about 1 meter long. Yes, memory serves.
Oh, the trolley ones.
Oh my God!
I love those.
The largest commercially available gummy bear weighs 2.27 kilograms.
5 pounds.
Yes.
5 pounds. A third of a stone. If I remember right. I'm not going to go ahead and do the conversion right now because I don't care. I don't care. But yeah, as an aside, by the way, those giant gummy worms that are like 1 meter long, I'm gonna type this into the hosts chat because so that's part of the reason why I kind of figured no. Yeah, I'll just we'll just leave that one completely aside. Then again, that also goes for the oversized gummy bear too. Kind of.
Yeah, I don't know who started that, with warning about the edibles and, people might be giving these out to your kids. It's just nuts.
Oh, that one's simple. That one's simple. And I'm going to be painting with a very large brush again. Republicans.
I guess. I
And
guess they haven't been to their local dispensary and seen how much those things cost.
yeah, and I'm saying that because technically I should be saying conservatives, but at this point, like I warned you, big fat wide brush on this one.
You
Why?
mean the GQP?
Yeah. And the reason for it is that they have a far higher tendency to do the FUD thing on any and everything because the war on drugs, marijuana is a gateway drug,
Mm-hmm.
and all this stuff, and being afraid of everything.
Well, I'm
Guys,
just saying, if I could afford to give out goodies at $25 a kid, I mean, I don't live in that kind of a neighborhood. I
screw that
can't
noise,
afford
man.
it.
At that point, I'd just give them the $25 and be done with it. Here, kid, here's a $25 bill. Have a great day.
Right. But
Did
I don't have $25 per kid to give them. Elon Musk would, Bill Gates would. And no, they're not going to be giving out edibles either.
Joe, did you catch that?
Yeah, I
Catch
just
what?
Appreciate that. Yeah, when I said I'll give every kid that comes out a $25 bill and tell them, here, kid, have a great time.
Uh, what did I miss?
A $25 bill.
Sorry. $25 bill. Oh gosh. Okay.
I mean, I have seen I've seen one person who literally handed out $2 bills.
That's cool.
But that would have been cool.
That was cool back in the day when stuff like that happened. I still
I
remember
couldn't afford
getting
to do that either.
yeah no I still remember when we'd get change thrown into our buckets, and it was just pocket change, usually pennies, because at the time you could actually still buy stuff if you had enough
For a
pennies,
penny.
or
And
or
sometimes we got quarters if we were
yeah
lucky, usually nickels or dimes, but you could still buy something with it.
yeah the kind of things that I think would be really cool for kids to be able to get at this point, although I don't think it's like really affordable to do. I would love to have people giving out $50.
Oh, yes.
Those, I mean, yeah, people look at them and go, "This isn't real money." It's real money. This is still as good as a $2. All right, it's not as good as a $2 bill, but I mean, it's still legal tender. It's like a real thing, man.
hmm I loved getting those.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. When my wife was a kid, that's what she would get, and I forget if it's a $50 or a silver dollar from the late 1800s upstairs somewhere. I think I forget what year it was from in particular, but believe it or not, it's on a a metal frame that screws together to hold it into place, so that it could be technically it could be put on like a dangle on a necklace. So I've still got it. I don't know if it's worth anything above and beyond the face value, but
Oh,
stuff like it
yeah.
was kind of cool.
I mean, I used to get, half-dollar pieces, from the Tooth Fairy.
Yep. Yep. I think that's what she got that thing from in particular. And Felix is saying, yeah, 5-cent candy bar at our day is fast approaching $2. Yeah. I remember going to the pharmacy where I used to work when I was when I was in high school. But as a kid, when we would go, yeah, wanted Three Musketeers was like the big thing for me. Loved Three
hmm
Musketeers, and you remember Three Musketeers, pretty sizable bar, the regular full sizes, 25
Yeah.
cents,
Yeah.
and it was 25 cents for the longest time. A run at the video game, 25 cents. Pinball machine, 25 cents for 5 balls. 25
Yep.
cents in the jukebox would get you 3.
In my time, used to get you 6.
I
6 songs.
remember when you could get a gumball for a nickel.
And they all tasted the same. Broken
Yeah.
tooth. It didn't matter what size it was. It always tasted the same. It was just broken tooth. And it was hollow. I never understood that, by the way. Out of the you know which ones I'm talking about. The ones that look like they're made out of cast iron with the glass up on the top. You put that thing in there. They still exist, by the way. And you'd hope that you wouldn't drop it on the floor. And it was hollow in the center
On
of
the
those
inside,
things.
yeah.
The reason why it was hollow,
Oh, here it comes.
very much the same way why they, put chips in bags, because, you're paying mostly for empty air, but also because in the coating process that hardens the outside, it at least ensures that the inside is still going to remain soft.
Well,
You just got to get to it,
yeah.
which is why, kids, if you got an extra $5, needle nose pliers.
Break that sucker.
My brother my brother literally used to get those gumballs, the Jawbreaker gumballs, and use a pair of needle nose pliers to effectively squish it in half and then chew it.
Oh,
That's smart.
that's not where I thought you...
I thought that's where he was going with that, was to break
I-
it.
My goodness, Shu.
No,
this is
no,
not the-
no,
this
no,
is not
no.
the
Hold on,
Manchurian
hold on,
candidate.
hold on. No, I thought you were actually going with the, if you open the metal flap, you can then reach in with the needle nose pliers and higgledy-jiggledy and get
can't.
stuff out.
I'm sorry, but no, oh, what the hell is the word they use for it? Drain trap drain. I don't know.
That claptrap don't work. I got you.
Nobody's wrist has that many angles in it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We could fix that.
Let me put it this way: if your wrist has that many angles that it's capable of, you've got a problem. In fact, I would imagine you've got many problems, because that's not just one broken bone.
That's several.
That's a
Oh,
good
but
point.
do you remember those Jawbreakers? It was the everlasting gobstopper.
Oh, they still have them.
And it had, like, I don't know, 50, 60 layers in that sucker.
Yep. I remember. Never had one because I never saw the point in it. But I know
You just
exactly
have
what
to
you're
have
talking about.
patience.
Yep.
But yeah, that's not something you're going to break in half with your teeth, that's for sure.
Ooh, Fearless is
But
also...
that was the point, though. It was like, yeah, kind of like those now and laters. Not now and laters.
Those
Dolly
still exist.
Ranchers. Yeah, they do.
Fearless was pointing out, remember the atomic warhead hot Jawbreakers? Again, still
Yes!
exist.
Those were awesome.
I never went for the...
Them.
Okay, the hot stuff was typically an industrial cinnamon flavoring. That's usually what
Yeah.
caused that. And
Yeah.
I had tried cinnamon flavored, oh God, which...
Was it the Red Hots?
No. It was one of the chewing gums. It was small, rectangular, individually wrapped. God, I don't remember.
I know what you're talking about,
Yeah,
and I
well,
just went blank.
I want to say
Was it Trident?
Trident. Yes, that's what it was. I don't know why I was suddenly thinking dentine. That doesn't make any sense. Anyway,
I'm like, no, that's not it.
but Trident cinnamon, and I just No, man. And anything that I knew afterwards that was hot or cinnamon, nope,
Yep. I know that feeling.
nope. I'll tell you the one thing that I remember as a kid that I don't know that it No, wait. I think they do still sell it, although it's really, really difficult to find them at this point. Candy cigarettes.
Yeah, that's kind of a no-no now.
And understandably so.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I don't know which is worse for you, candy cigarettes or just a straight pixie stick. Sorry. I need it.
I like the pixie sticks though.
Okay, meter long pixie sticks are not good for anybody. Meter long
Right.
pixie sticks, the only thing they're good for is for flavoring the iced tea when you don't have any sugar to put into it. Because it's sugar. That's
Yeah,
all
but
there
I
is to it.
still used to like the one that had the purple stripes on it though. Meter long or even the little paper ones. I didn't care. I didn't eat much candy as a kid, except, on Halloween I would get some candy and eat it, but usually I would only eat some of the stuff for a couple of days and then a year later throw it all out because it was still sitting there. I just wasn't big into candy when I was a kid.
Ooh.
But I would eat all the lemon heads. I loved those. That was like my favorite.
Fearless, good call. Fearless had also pointed out, and I had forgotten about these, chiclets.
Yeah,
I had forgotten about that. Those
those
were
were
actually
fun.
fun. Those were fun. God, those were horrible, but they were fun.
Hmm.
I'll tell you the really really bad candy vice that I used to have, and I can't do it anymore. Although I will tell you right now, simply thinking about it, I can taste it in my face already after all these years of not having done it. Think back on a little container about 3 inches tall, rectangular, mostly clear plastic, with a little flip top lid that had
Fuzz.
no
No?
that had little pill shaped colored pieces of sugar and flavoring in them, so that when you shook it, you could hear how many you still had in there. The tic tac.
Oh,
My nastiest vice, reminding you I can still taste it to this day, was to not open the lid, but to rip the entire lid structure off and put everything into my mouth at once.
wow.
I can't do that anymore. I can't do that anymore. I can taste it in my face. I am salivating just thinking about it because I don't want that in my face anymore. And before anybody says, no, you're not really, I would open my mouth and show you, but I'm sorry, no.
What was your favorite flavor of Tic Tac?
Orange,
Mine too.
orange.
Uh-huh.
And that's what I'm tasting. God, I'm not, oh shit, now I'm afraid to take a drink off of this again.
Well, the orange ones were good. Haven't had one in decades, but they were good.
But you can taste it in your face already, can't you?
Hmm. And I'm okay with that.
I'm,
But I
af-
only ate them one at a time, though.
I'm afraid this memory is going to taint the way that this beer tastes.
Well, I can give you a description that, Freda gave earlier that I thought was just an amazing description. He was talking about these, what was it? Was it hazelnut flavored Oreos?
Oh God, I forget which one it was that he said that it was. Yeah, I saw that too. Go right ahead.
Yeah, and that it tastes like what a new car smell would be if you had the new car smell with cake frosting. And I thought that was such a wonderful description. almost taste it or smell it
One of the
because I
few
can imagine.
one of the few times Dave Foda has actually posted something on Facebook that did not get him banned for 30 days. Way to go there, Dave. We're
We're
proud of you,
proud of
man.
you. But I loved that description. That I'm like, yes, I can imagine this.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm still.
No, it's okay. Oh, oh,
But I was a weird child. I loved to dress up and I loved to go trick or treating with my friends and stuff, but I did not like chocolate at all. I don't know what was wrong with me. I just didn't care for it.
I don't like most chocolate, but there is. I have to say, advice. Milk chocolate, of course, I do enjoy, but there is one particular milk chocolate. Um, are you familiar at all with a import candy bar known as
Toblerone?
no, it's known as Ritter Sport.
No.
sounds
It is
familiar.
it is a candy bar, but it doesn't come in your typical rectangular shape. It is a square,
I haven't had it.
and it is by far, in my professional opinion, as an individual who has been thrown from one continent to the next for the better part of his adult life, it is by far the best milk chocolate I've ever had. It is Alpine milk chocolate. Or okay, it is the best mass-produced, commercially available milk chocolate I have ever. I have to say there are some shops in Germany where
Yeah, if you're lucky enough to live somewhere where there is a chocolatier, that
Yeah.
is going to be the best stuff. Seriously. Uh, when I was growing up, Hershey's was like the go-to all the time. And as I've
Oh, it
gotten
used to be
older,
good.
yeah, it did. That's the thing. It used to be good. Now, the best description I've ever heard of it is it's waxy.
Hmm.
And that's
It's
that's
true.
all it's true. That's true.
The quality of it has gone way down, and they've added a lot more, ingredients to, take the place of, the expensive chocolate.
Yep. And to
But
stabilize it and all that stuff. Yeah, it's
yeah,
annoying. And there are the I haven't seen Stephanie posting in a little bit, so I'm a little worried that you fell asleep on us because I'm going to bring them up again over in England, Thornton's. I still want to reorder from them, even though it's going to cost a freaking arm and a leg to ship it over here. But I so want to order from Thornton's.
I didn't start eating chocolate until trying to think. I was probably in my 20s. For some reason, I just never did like the taste when I was younger. And that went for chocolate ice cream, chocolate milk, anything. I just didn't care for it. I don't know why. I would have taken vanilla ice cream every single time over chocolate, and people thought I was crazy.
Well, that depends. If it was good, especially good French vanilla or vanilla bean vanilla, the good quality stuff,
I still
I can
like
see that.
vanilla bean.
Oh, I don't blame you. If it's good quality. That's the big
Yeah.
difference. I mean,
meanwhile, go ahead. Sorry.
what I was going to say is that you can get vanilla. You can get any old vanilla. And that's okay. But to get vanilla bean, that's going to be expensive because actual vanilla bean costs. And to make a good quality tasting French vanilla, it's not easy to do. It's not exactly the best mass produced. If you've got again, if you've got a local company that makes it, usually they will do an exceptional job of it. But If all you got is what's in the freezer section of a grocery store, oh yeah, a good quality French vanilla is hard to beat.
Yeah. Well, as far as extract, we make our own.
Joe? We
I was just going to say that being the indecisive bastard that I am, I was always a fan of Neapolitan.
It's pronounced Neapolitan, and it's fine. It's fine.
Look, I blame my mother for
I
that.
would eat the strawberry first and then the vanilla second, and I would never eat the chocolate. That was one of
It's
the little.
fine.
I blame my mother for that one. But that's because my mother, you have to come to an understanding with 7 kids, all with different tastes. If you're going to buy one in the 1-gallon tub,
Yeah.
might as well get, 3 for 1.
Or, you could have just gotten the least expensive gallon bucket of just plain Jane vanilla and gone to the milk flavoring aisle and gotten chocolate quick and strawberry quick.
Yep.
Remember when that was still a thing in a cardboard container with a metal lid that you had to hope that you didn't slice your throat open with a knife prying open the top lid.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not the only one that did that, right?
Getting your little, getting your vibes of how they had to open cans before the can opener was invented.
Kinda.
Yeah, I remember, and that lid was so hard to pry off, and then you have to put it back on, and it was always hard to pry off.
God, the worst part
Didn't
of it.
matter how many times it'd been opened.
Yeah, and the worst part of it was, if you weren't careful as a kid, not only could you end up flinging the lid somewhere because of the way that it would pop off, you might end up losing control of the knife you were using. Why weren't you using a spoon? I don't know. It would impale onto something, usually the floor, because the floor's got that vinyl stuff on the bottom. Oh no, you might lose complete control out of the box itself, and suddenly you now have pink dust floating all over the kitchen and all over the floor, and that stuff doesn't come up out of the floor because it will go straight through the vacuum cleaner whether it's got a bag in it or not, so why even bother?
So that's how Toonie ended up pink.
I don't, okay, that's an inside joke we're not going to go into.
It all makes sense now.
For those of you that are wondering what the hell are we talking about, don't worry, you don't need to know. Just trust us that it's funny as hell. Just trust us on this one. Oh my god. Okay, so Stephanie is pointing out in the UK, Halloween wasn't a big thing. And yeah, Halloween was very much a US. Pardon me. Let me rephrase that. Halloween was very much a America's kind of thing, especially a North America's kind of thing. So it was done in Canada, maybe not nearly as much. They most assuredly did not put rules and regulations on it the way that we have over here. Oh my God.
Well, I would say there are probably 2 caveats. It makes sense that it caught on more so in the Americas than in other parts of... there are some parts of Europe where it's very much a big thing, but the vast majority of Europe, not so much, because of the cultural niches that Europe developed. But here in the Americas, all those niches got thrown into one big lump sum and said, play ball!
Yeah. Yeah. So, a whole bunch of that just ended up all over the place.
The other thing that I remember somebody mentioning was that the biggest advancements when it comes to our modern idea of Halloween did actually occur in the mid-20th century.
Yeah.
And that was fine here in the Americas, where we didn't have very much to worry about. But in the mid-20th century in Britain, kids necessarily didn't get the chance to go out and frolic in the streets, unfortunately, because there were things going on.
It's might not be the right word for it, but basically the post-war reconstruction of like freaking everything still.
Yeah.
I mean, what did we have to worry about over here? Oh, what's wrong with you guys over there? I mean, if it wasn't for us, you'd still be speaking German.
Yeah, we
Can-
didn't get the crap bombed out of us.
Yeah, can I just be the first one on record to just go ahead and say, I am so fucking done with that expression. Oh my god. Anyway.
And we didn't get in until like way late in the game.
Yeah, well, you know. Yeah, we had things to do, like get ready for Joe McCarthy to go ahead and throw everybody over the boat.
Yeah.
But that's a whole other thing right now. We're not going to go red washing the whole thing right now. We've got better things to do. I'm sorry. Did I make a joke there somewhere?
What was really, really hard was the whole bobbing for apples thing. I don't know that that's still a thing. But that was difficult unless you happen to be like really buck-toothed.
That is definitely something that should not be doing right now.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
I was about to say,
Not with COVID. No.
do not stick your face into places where other people's faces have been.
Yeah. Okay, so for anybody that's kind of wondering what the hell they're talking about, the tradition was to get a bucket of some sort, fill it most of the way up with water, and then put apples in it. Just apples. And
Float.
yeah, and the challenge was you kneel down, you lean over it, and with just your face, you try to come up with an apple, which is
Pull it
harder.
out of the bucket.
Yeah, which is harder than it sounds. It honest and truly is. And, you know, I think back on it now, and there are two pieces about it. One, why? I've never understood that part of it. And the other one is, with all the times that stuff like that happened when we were much younger, and that was still a popular thing that you could do, you know, without worrying about contracting syphilis or anything, how is it that there were so few times where somebody would come up behind you and, you know, push somebody in or you know, smack him in the ass to trip him to fall into a bucket or something? I don't recall ever hearing even, you know, the
Nobody did that.
yeah. Yeah, it was like for it was like for one moment, for one very specific item, there was an understood truce between everybody that you don't fuck around with somebody who's got their head into a bucket of water. You just don't.
With their arms behind their back and trying to grab something with their teeth.
Yeah, and by the way,
And
voluntarily,
people took turns.
voluntarily holding your hands behind your own back. Nobody was
Yeah,
forcing
yeah.
you. Nobody held you. You were a complete honor system. And if you didn't feel comfortable enough, you sure? You really? Okay, you know what? No wonder. Just make sure that if you did kind of chew into one, that we get it out of there. Okay, you got that? Okay, there's some teeth marks in that one. All right, you keep that one anyway. Don't worry about it. And it was like, what? I didn't understand what the point of it was. All right, you came away with an apple.
Well, if you were able to pull it up out of the water with your teeth, then there was like lots of applause because you did it.
I wonder how many kids lost a tooth doing that. No.
And then if I lost a tooth doing that, it was probably already loose anyway.
Yeah, exactly. That was kind of the point that I was going for, and it was just I just suddenly thought about it. It's like, wow, shit. Oh, that would.
And definitely less traumatic than trying to pull it
Yeah,
when it's loose.
yeah. The string on a door trick. No, I can't believe anybody ever used to do that. Never mind, still does that. That's just no.
Well, it's because kids are scared to yank it, and parents don't like to yank it because it seems cruel.
Well,
But it has to come out.
but it will.
Not always.
Yes, it will.
No, it won't.
Sooner or later, it will.
No.
What do you mean no?
My kiddo has had two that got really, really loose, her deciduous tooth, then tightened back up because she was too much of a weenie to pull it or have me pull it. And then the permanent tooth came in beside it and had to take her to a dentist and have them extracted. They never did come out. And we're talking teeth that she should have lost at like 6 or 7, ended up having them extracted when she was like 12.
Fine.
I'm just saying, it doesn't always.
You know, the mean-spirited part of me right now has got a line, and
Not tough. Do it. Do your worst.
okay, maybe it's genetic. Maybe you tainted that poor kid. Maybe it's your fault.
Well,
That's as far
I
as
don't know. Not me. Probably my husband. I've got really good teeth. He's got not so good teeth.
Whatever.
Brigid, just so you know, I do know where he lives.
Who, my husband or Shoe?
Shoo.
Oh, I'm not afraid of Shoe.
No,
Shoe's not afraid of me either.
he could be.
No.
For the right price, they can be afraid of you too. Boy, that is not the business pitch I should be making right now.
What is $500 for one kneecap and give you 2 for $750?
The staff and management of Holy Crap the Vlogcast do not in any way condone or accept any responsibility
You're
for people
blowing
that want to do that. That's the point.
You're blowing out your own mic, damn it.
That's the point. That's the point.
Oh,
Yeah.
ow.
That's the way it does.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, well, it's okay. It's a good hurt because you're laughing. I finished it. I finished
Well
this
done.
beer. You know what? This beer did not suck.
Good.
I can't say that I can't exactly say that I like it enough that I would get it again. But I do believe that this would be one that I would consider if I needed to buy one. You know, for like a social drinking kind of thing. All right, you know what?
Or if someone offered to buy you one.
Yeah, exactly. So that's, you know what? And again, I don't know if it got more palatable because it warmed up or because I kept sipping at it. So, you know, grand scheme of things, okay. Again, just goes to prove that, you know, a little bit of pain over, you know, many weeks, you know, there are some things that I learn out of it. So, you know, okay.
I do have a cute Halloween story from when my kid was a wee one. First took her out trick-or-treating, I think she was 2. And she had dressed up like a, oh gosh, what were those things called? Furby. That's what it was.
Oh no.
Yeah, she was so cute. The Furby costume was so adorable.
I'm sorry,
And she
there's
loved-
nothing cute about Furbies.
Oh, this was white. It had a little pink mouth. It was adorable, trust me. And yeah, she picked out the costume, not me. Okay, that's what she wanted. And so anyway, she was so excited to get to go trick or treating, and she would have been, 3 her next birthday, so she was like 2.5. And so we finally went out on the big day, and she went to 2 houses, got some candy, decided this was pretty cool, and then saw somebody that was dressed up like a gorilla. Scared the crap out of her, so she was ready to go back home. So we were done after 2 houses. Go back into the house, takes her little pumpkin back to her room and all that other stuff. And so after she got over being scared, the next day, she puts on her little costume and goes to the door with her little pumpkin and says, "We go again, trick or treat." And I was like, "No, sweetie, it's over." She thought that this was going to be a new thing.
That is actually pretty damn cute.
Yeah.
Tiny Dribble. Let's see. Tiny Dribble. It would have been second or third Halloween at that point. No, wait. Oh God, I forget which one it was. It might have been second Halloween. Was dressed in an outfit that my mother-in-law had sewed to make him look like a sheep.
Oh,
I do have pictures somewhere. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny, but all these years later, it's been interesting. It's been interesting. He actually made one year. He got a couple of boxes, put aluminum foil around them, and made used markers to put like dials and toggles and buttons and switches and things on them, and he went around as a robot. And you don't see that very often anymore.
not that kind of creativity.
No. Homemade costumes don't happen that often anymore, unless you're an adult, in which case you get invited over to come as your porn star name party.
What?
I've never heard of that.
Yeah. Okay, so my wife got invited to one of her friends from work at the time, and it was a come as your porn star name. Now, in this particular situation, the way it was described to me was, your porn star name is, and I'm going to tell people, do not go ahead and use this for general social media stuff, because again, it's always going to be one of these things where eventually it could be scraped and used for information later. So go with me on this one.
Yeah.
It was, replace your first name with the name of your first pet. Your last name is the name of the street you grew up on.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Now, reminding you that my wife, all 5 foot nothing of her, with the shape of an upside down pear for a body. Her terminology, not mine. Mind you, she's big busted lady. Not the reason why I loved her. Not the only reason why I loved her. She was all kinds of annoyed at this, because for her, half Japanese that she appeared, her porn star name turned out to be Fluffy East. My half Japanese wife's porn star name was Fluffy East. Now, I can get away with saying this because I've got no reason to use either of these terms. So we had a good laugh about this. Now, you might have seen the pictures of her wearing the much now fabled red dress, the Asian dress. I forget if it's Chinese actually. The kipao is what it's called. What she accessorized that with, which, by the way, part of the reason why she loved this dress. All right, the way kipao looks, you probably know exactly the kind of thing I'm talking about, but it had no sleeves. It had what looked to be a seam that went from the middle of her neck down to about her collarbone, off to the left side of her dress to where her arm opening was, that would be held together with what are called frogs. They look like they're knotted strings, basically, to hold it together. The reason why she loved this is because that gap where those frogs were holding it together always ended up open just a little bit. So there was this like 1 inch gap where you could see bare skin through it. And it always looked like it was one step away from flopping open. However, this dress had a zipper down the back, and that was how it opened. That section off to the left side of her that always looked like it was ready to fall open and to spill her breasts out could never open up because it was sewn shut the whole way through, except for that one little gap, which always made it look like she was the most brazen lady in the world. What she did with that outfit to accessorize it was she had a pair of heels, lower heels. Of course, the black fishnets, because of course you have to, which, by the way, guys, if you ever wanted to wear fishnets just to try them out, don't.
They're uncomfortable.
Not only are they uncomfortable, but within a half an hour of walking on them, you will have chewed up the bottoms of your feet and they are bleeding. You're welcome.
Yep.
And the final accessory part to it, she got a hot pink feather boa to accessorize with. And that's what she was able to get away with, because it was a combination of filthy sexy, but never having to worry about having an accident. And she loved that.
I believe the term you're looking for is wardrobe malfunction.
That's what they call it now, yes. Now, the term, by the way, Bill Thies, he was a wardrobe designer. Most famously, he was on the original Star Trek series.
Oh.
If ever you saw women, wearing something that looked like it was 2 breaths away, one wrong wind machine activation, one bad step to the left, away from falling off of someone, that was Bill Thies. The titillation factor is directly proportional to the anticipation of a piece of clothing falling off. I'm paraphrasing that, but that is effectively the Bill Thies method of costume design. It honest and truly is. It is actually credited to him for exactly that reason.
Shu said tit.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. It was my duty to say it.
I've only worn fishnets once. And after that, I was like, never again. And it was for Halloween. I had dressed up like a Playboy bunny.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
And people at work were kind of like, But and this is when I was in the military, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense.
That's brave.
I wore that to work. Yeah, they told us to dress up for Halloween that day, and my supervisor did not like it. Everybody else did, but she was, yeah, we won't talk about her.
Okay.
But everybody else really liked it, and I won our little unit costume contest.
You know what?
Well, I was young enough to get away with it, you know.
Yeah. Joe, you were about to say something.
No, I wasn't.
Okay, then I will. Why do I know about the fishnet thing? I will tell you why. Yes, I did.
And it hurts.
Yep. I had what we were going to do something special one Halloween. Unfortunately, it didn't get the opportunity to happen because of reasons. But we were trying to figure a way for me to get away with dressing up, cross-dressing. Now, hold on a second. I know. Not the most wonderful term, but just bear with me for a second. You'll see why. Cross-dressing as a woman and getting a bottle and walking around with an empty bottle, I should say, of Miller Lite. Because back in the late 80s into early 90s, as I recall, there was an ad campaign where, for Miller Lite, if I remember correctly, where it was Ladies' Night. And
I remember.
And the bar had a sign up that said it was Ladies' Night and ladies drink half price or whatever the hell it was. And tons and tons of guys, obviously guys, dressed up as women in the bar so that they could drink Miller Lite. That was the entirety for the ad campaign, and that's why I'm specifically saying cross-dressed. They were not trying to pass off as anything. They were doing it to scam a system. I was going to try my hand at exactly the same kind of thing. So I had gotten, actually, it was my wife's pair of black fishnets, and we ended up scoring for me a size, let's see if I can remember right. I believe they were size 16 or 14. I forget which one it was. Women's size, mind you, 16 or 14. I forget which it is. To fit me. Oh, God, I forgot how tall it was. I think it was something like 4.5 or 5-inch heel stiletto, patent black leather with an ankle strap.
Wow.
And
Hard to walk in.
yeah, oh yeah, I found that out because I had to try it out to see how well will this work. Do I have a problem with telling you folks about this? Hell no.
No.
But let me tell you, I never had any idea how hard it was to walk on heels of any kind other than just, like cowboy boot where you've got like an inch. That doesn't even qualify for crying out loud. But the threat that was constantly running through my head of I'm going to twist my ankle and blow out my entire leg. Holy balls, I had no idea. And then finding out how much fishnets chewed up the balls of my feet. Holy mackerel. So, yeah, guys, if you're ever planning on doing the Rocky Horror Picture Show, practice for a long time beforehand.
Yeah, or make sure that you've got some cushion for the bottom of your foot, between your foot and the material.
Yeah, PEDS. Keep that word in mind. PEDS. You don't know what it is. You will want to find out later. Trust me, PEDS.
Yep. Oh, but Rocky Horror Picture Show is like the best thing to go to. It kind of sucks if you just sit there and watch it in your living room, but it's the audience participation that makes it fun.
There are
I
versions
used to go every Friday night when I lived in Memphis.
Yeah, there are actually versions of the Rocky Horror Picture Show that you can buy that is filmed with the audience participation, which is, to me, one of the best ways, arguably the only real way to really enjoy the movie, because
because the movie actually, if you just didn't watch it straight, it kind of sucks. It's bad.
Yeah.
But always dressed up like Magenta.
Okay.
Well, that was the easiest for me to get together. Easiest outfit for me to get together.
Nothing wrong with that. Oh God, I'm gonna have to link to it. There's somebody on YouTube who does reactions to, as she puts it, classic movies. 70s, 80s, back then, from before she was born, especially. And this particular week, she did her reaction to the Rocky Horror Picture Show, never having seen it before. I will have to link that for the show notes because, reminding you, she's 27, has never seen it, has worked at a country western radio station that every year, whatever format the radio station was in at the time, which, by the way, that happens all the time. They change formats all the time. They would always play the Time Warp because they always play the Time Warp, on Halloween.
Yeah.
But there were a couple of scenes where this poor what's the expression that they usually use down south of the poor little honey child heart? You kind of know the one where I'm going for, where it's just you poor little innocent sweet little child.
I got no idea. You done lost me.
It's okay.
Or at least they used to call them if it was your first time watching or you were a virgin.
Yeah, but
And the virgins they would trick into sitting on the front row. And then he would target them with, water guns and
toast
the
and
toast and throw the hot dogs at them and throw glitter everywhere. And I felt so sorry for the poor people that had to come in and clean up after that.
Yeah, there is that.
And my grandmother, she was an enabler. Oh, man. Well, she was getting, this is probably illegal, but she's deceased now, so I can tell you, she was getting, some of the commodities, because, they didn't have, food stamps back then, or whatever. It was when they, you would go and get the, the generic powdered milk and the rice and the cheese and all that stuff.
Okay.
And so she would get like these huge ass bags of rice that were like 5 pounds.
Oh.
And so every time that my cousin and I would get ready to go to Rocky Horror Picture Show, here's Grandma out with her bag of rice to give us rice to throw for the wedding scene. She knew that we were doing it.
I can't. So what are you leaving out for Santa Claus? I can't leave anything out because of my excessive rat problem.
I just thought that was so funny because we would take our own, the hot dogs and the newspaper and the flashlight and the trying to think what else, the rice for the wedding and all that stuff for little props. And,
Oh,
and
God.
we weren't supposed to bring them with us into the theater, but the theater was cool about it and let everybody bring their stuff in anyway.
Oh God, the flashlight! I forgot about that.
The what?
I forgot about the flashlight part.
Yeah.
Oh.
But we dressed up and we took all of our props. We were ready for all of it. It was funny.
Ow.
You okay, man?
No, just a little gray matter came out.
Okay. I was actually going to ask you. You didn't break a rib that time, did you?
No, just mild concussion.
Okay. Yeah.
And the toast. We brought toast too.
Toast. Yeah, because I'm now suddenly remembering the times that I would go, and have the flashlight out there, and inevitably there would always be somebody that for some reason would forget to turn off their flashlight at the right time, and the guys in the back row, right near where the projector were, who would do shadow puppets on the thing and whatnot, when somebody would forget to turn off their flashlight when they're supposed to, in the darkness. Just just intentionally, just the 4 or 5 of them over there, they would just scream at the one person, and you could tell who they were screaming at by the way that the sound traveled from them. Oh God! But yeah, this poor little Ashleigh, from 27 years old, from Tennessee, poor little child. Oh my God, there were some scenes in that where it's just, oh, she was not ready. She was not ready.
Well, I'm sure that the sweet transvestite part probably freaked her out.
She loved that. She said on multiple occasions, "What is it about Tim Curry? I find him so hot. Is that weird of me? Is that wrong of me?" And here I am. I'm sitting there going, "Hun, no, you're perfectly natural. Everybody thinks that of him." But the one that the 2 scenes that absolutely freaked her out were the scenes in the bedrooms when Brad comes in to Janet's room and starts kissing and making out with her, and she's stroking his hair, and the wig comes off of him. "It's you." "I'm afraid so, Janet." And it's Frankenfurter, and she's just like, "Oh." And then the scene repeats with Brad, and it's the opposite way, and she's just like, "Oh." because if you listen to the scene, you will hear Frankenfurter, reminding you of Tim Curry, Frankenfurter saying, on my mother's. It's like, oh, she was not ready for this movie. And she's already said, I would love to watch this with other people because everybody has said I need to see this with other people. But I can't do that filming right now. And I'm just like, oh, hon, you have no idea. You aren't ready for just watching this straight. You are so not ready for the next half of this. You're not going to be ready for this. But I can't wait to find out what happens with that.
Oh, yeah, in the dinner scene.
Yep.
Oh, no, not meatloaf again.
Yeah, well, again, reminding you, there was no audience participation for her, so she's just watching it straight. So, yeah. God, like I said, I'm gonna make sure I've got that linked in the show notes because I mean, shit. Oh, it was so worth it.
Yeah.
And it's you know what? When all is said and done, for the adults or the almost adult, yeah, it's probably the best way of putting it. Seriously, the Rocky Horror Picture Show is just, it really is just so much fun escapism.
Mm-hmm.
And what I kind of figured out earlier tonight is that the only reason to me why the Rocky Horror Picture Show is as much of a cult classic as it is not because it's a good film. It's not.
Audience participation.
It's because the audience is so aware of how bad it is that they are intentionally mocking it. And that's what makes the experience a complete, unique experience. It is Rocky Horror Picture Show. The movie itself is in a class set aside all unto its own. And even having the experience of being with everybody else who knows. Oh God, I can't get away with saying that one, can I? You know what? I'm gonna. The audience participation is incredibly regional.
Oh, yeah.
There are certain things that some groups do. There are certain things that other groups do.
Yep.
It's very regional. The first time that I saw it in college, which not the first time that I had seen it, but the first time since I was at college, and I was at a friend's place, upstate from basically the beginnings of upstate New York. There's a scene in the Rocky Horror where there are a bunch of dogs that come running towards the camera. And there was no big thing that happened when I was when I watched it on Long Island. Nothing happened for that one. But at this other viewing, the audience chimed in, and I'm going to slow it down so people can understand it. Nipples and clits, nipples and clits. I gotta get me some nipples and clits, nipples and clits.
Well, we didn't do that. We did kibbles and bits.
But that was the mocking of it. Yes.
Yeah.
I lost it. I just looked around like, you fuckers are sick. I love it.
Well, we were, doing kibbles and bits. I gotta give me some kibbles and bits.
Yes, but it was Rocky Horror, so that's why.
Right. But that's what we did in Memphis. But they used to sell an album of the soundtrack with the audience participation in it.
I don't know about that. Meaning I don't have that one. I have the regular soundtrack.
We had the one that had the audience participation, in there. And when I listened to it, there were definitely some differences in some of the lines, and it was regional.
Not surprised. Joe, are you okay? It sounds like I might have hurt you just a little bit there.
A little bit. Just a little bit. Oh, God.
Well, I have to say the most fun costume that we ever did, it was a group project kind of a thing, but we dressed up like a six pack one year. And we were banded together and had to jump in unison to move.
Now, see, I could picture that if you're dressing up as the bottles with the little carton carrier
No,
thing around you.
we were
But if you're
cans.
but if you're going for cans, boy, that's got to hurt your neck.
Well, we didn't. We had to like tie ourselves together at the waist and then try to hop together as a unit, and that was very difficult. So that didn't last very long. Yeah, we made it through the door and everything, and then decided, screw this.
You know what? We've only got a few more minutes. That kind of brings up one piece for me. Being that Joey and I and Dalan are most assuredly part of the furry fandom. The guys who are in the fandom who have costumes of their own, mascot type suits, fursuits. Oh my God. When Halloween comes up and they get the opportunity to go out and they're in suits and dressed up, and it's not raining, I should add, by the way. Oh my God. The looks on kids' faces when they see these characters come around. I love it. I love seeing the reactions of the kids. I just think that it's so much it's so fabulous, and these people, the adults, have no clue how much these suits cost sometimes.
Well,
Yeah.
in all fairness, there are some suits out there where you can kind of guess. But usually those are the ones where, it's somebody's first time making one and they don't maybe know quite the right material or quite the right way to put it together.
Are you
But they
ragging
learn.
on, are you ragging on the Tribble suit? Are you ragging on the Tribble?
Absolutely not.
See, he says that. He says that the whole time. I can hear where his tongue is placed right now.
In fact, I had come up with possibly. I was thinking about it last night, and I had come up with a possible redesign of the Tribble suit, so to speak, because you mentioned something about a forklift last night, and I don't know why, but my brain started putting the idea together of you with your head sticking, having like a. Never mind. Moving on. It's hard for me to explain. It's one of those things where I'd have to sketch it out for you.
Yeah, it's okay. One of the original design ideas that I had was actually getting a wheelchair and basically putting a wire mesh dome on top of it so that I could wheel around that way. But then I suddenly realized, try to get through doorways is probably not.
Yeah.
It's not. Nope. Nope. So that did not happen. That one.
I haven't.
Yeah. The reason why I'm bringing this one up, Joe, I don't know if you remember, the fursuit known as CryoWolf.
Kinda.
Okay. Cryo and I have known each other for a long time. We kind of, whenever I get the opportunity to be down there for Anthrocon, which has been almost every year, it's a whole other thing. We kind of get the opportunity to kind of, touch base a little bit because he's usually on the clock because, volunteering time, security, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, the CryoWolf suit had been retired a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. Because, it's been showing its age. It's some of the materials are starting to degenerate because, nothing lasts forever.
Yeah.
It had cost him, when all is said and done, if memory serves, upwards of, I forget what the right number was. And I'm trying to remember if he had said it was either $5,000 or $15,000 when all was said and done.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
Wow.
And like I said, it had been retired. However, apparently he has now decided it's time to have it redone and renovated for a chance to come back again.
Oh
Oh,
dear.
Now, I will also make sure that we link in so folks can take a look and see what CryoWolf looks like, because CryoWolf is one of those first suits that I remember was badass for me to see. But oh my god, the amount of money that some of these guys have been able to put into suits makes me feel really good for some of these people. Because if there is one thing that which one was it? The year that I think it was the second year, the last year that I was in the triple fursuit, when we had the fursuit big. No, it was the first year. I'm sorry. The big group photo after the fursuit parade.
Mm-hmm.
They got the photo of everybody that was in the parade that wanted to participate in the big ass picture of everybody. Big ass wide picture, I might add. Ran the numbers and figured out that that was well over $1 million worth of fursuit that was there. Well over. And if memory serves, I think it was closer to 2.5 or even 3.
wow.
And that number has only gone up with the number of people that keep going, participating. And I don't believe that that necessarily is an accurate representation either, because there are so many suit makers who will charge less than they could for whatever reason. Some people who make it themselves, so they don't really keep a running accurate count of how much it would actually cost. And then you look at how much there is, and you realize that is roughly, and Joe, help me out if I've got the wrong numbers over here, roughly 25% of people that would go to a FurCon who have a suit. That's on the
A lot of
high.
people.
It is, but that's also on the high side. I remember hearing that it was anywhere from 10 to 15%, and it's kind of gone up a little bit to where, if I remember right, it's like 25% is a little bit on the high side, but it's kind of in that ballpark. And I would like to attribute a lot of that to more and more people making their own, because people have just gone ahead and said, okay, when you're going to go ahead and make your fursuit, here are the things that you need to know about. Shaving fur that you bought from a company that sells this stuff. You know, the stuff that nobody really thinks about because they don't do it professionally. And people just share their information.
Well, I mean, it's the cool thing about the internet and fandoms and all that is that you can get, crowdsourced ideas of this is how you do this.
Yep.
And I think that that's really cool.
Yep. And I know it's been years. I know. And I had said a long time ago that I was going to finally make the one suit that I've wanted to for years, and I still haven't. I still have your Alice pack, by the way. Thank you for that, Joe. But, eventually. It's not going to... the idea in my head is not going away anytime soon. But how badass it would be is also still in my head. So one of these days.
Well, I mean, maybe after COVID finally does its thing and stuff,
Maybe.
I haven't
Wink.
gone to a con in gosh, I mean, 2 years, longer than 2 years. And Atlanta is looking kind of iffy. I just don't know. I mean, it's supposed to be in April, but I don't know.
Neither do I. But you know what?
Stupid pandemic.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not gonna go down that rabbit hole right now because we don't have the
Yeah,
time.
I mean, I'm glad that people are having things, virtually now to kind of substitute for that, but it's just not the same.
Agreed.
It's better than nothing, but it's just not the same.
Mm.
Agreed, sadly. I have talked way, way more than I normally would for tonight. So, what have you guys got to finish off with? Because I mean,
Last time that I dressed up for Halloween, it was a flop. I did my best. And, we were supposed to wear our costumes to work and all that. And this was pre-COVID, of course. And I dressed up like Geddy Lee.
okay,
But a lot of the younger people had no idea who I was supposed to be, and they guessed Howard Stern.
I mean, hey,
I can see that.
that seems scary enough.
I thought that was funny. They were like, "Oh, are you supposed to be Howard Stern?" And I was like, no, I'm Geddy Lee."
For what's worth with that, by the way, there was one year that Tiny Tribble at the time had picked out for a Cinderella thing, and I had gotten one of these muscle suit kind of things for Space Ghost. And we went to the local mall where they were having a trick or treat thing, and there were some high school-ish young ladies who came over and were admiring, and came over and said to me, "Oh wait, I know what you are. Are you a?" And as soon as she said "a," I said, "Hold on, stop right there. If you have to say a anything, you don't have it right. Don't worry about it." Because I knew there was no way. You can't say, "Oh, you're a Space Ghost." No, there is only one, the definitive article. So that one was a little disappointing. But you know what, kids today, what are you gonna do?
Oh, what was that Mantis guy from his show? Zorak?
Yes, Zorak and Brack. Yes, the Lava Man.
Yeah, I still had fun though, being Geddy Lee for a day.
That's actually pretty. Do you still have pictures of you in the? You know what?
I'll
After the show. After the show.
I'll have to look. I'm not sure, but I used eyebrow pencil to do the little goatee, and I had a black kind of not curly but wavy shoulder length wig, and had the round dark shades and the blah 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 t-shirt, my black Converse.
You tried it. Good on you for that.
I tried really hard, and if I had if COVID had not been a thing, then my friend Rita and I were gonna go. I was gonna be Freddie Mercury, and have her be what was her name? John Deacon. It would have been fun.
No argument. No argument at all. And Joe, how about for you? What last before we get out of here?
Growing up, my family did not do a whole lot of the whole trick-or-treating thing. That said, I had bad luck when it came to the trick-or-treating, because there was one year and it rained and it was so cold. There was one year I remember, and I think we were still in Illinois at the time. But I decided I'll make my own costume. I'm trying to figure out how best to describe this. You of course are familiar with the animated series Gargoyles.
To some extent, yes.
This was right after that came out. And I decided to make a gargoyle costume. As kids have... Now, had I done this, I don't know, 30 or so years prior, would have seemed fine, because back then, you know, kids making stuff out of cardboard and whatnot for their Halloween costume, that was common. But I did it in the 90s, when, you know, things like Spirit of Halloween and everything were all over the place, and professionally made costumes were commercially available and whatnot. Well, I made my own, and like I said, it rained, and cardboard don't do so well with rain.
No, it doesn't.
Thus, giving rise to what my siblings so lovingly referred to as Goliath the Garbage Heap.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
I am. Because depending as to how big it was, what's going through my head right now is the only umbrella you'd be able to use would be something off of a patio deck.
Well, it wasn't quite that big, no, but let's just say that the majority of it was dragging behind me by the time I got home.
Yeah, you tried. All right. The last thing that I'm going to give everybody really quickly is just enjoy yourselves. Stay safe. If you get the opportunity to indulge a little bit, again, as always, everything in moderation. And you'd be surprised how long chocolate will last in the freezer. Just saying. As somebody who used to work at a commercial bakery, yeah, chocolate will last a very, very long time in the freezer. All those plastic containers you've been saving up for, there's your chance. So keep that in mind. Have a good time. Be attentive if you're driving. And other than that, just remember the people that we've lost. The people that you've lost. Because it's the tradition that we have to just at least remember one more year. So we're going to get on out of here because A, it's late or early, as the case may be, and oh God, we got to be dealing with time zones again soon. So everybody take care of yourselves. Thank you for being with us. We hope that you found something worthwhile in all of our perspectives and got something to think about for the week ahead. And I sincerely hope that I didn't screw up the audio nearly as much as I'm afraid that I could have again this week. Joe, glad you were able to make it. You take care of yourself, and good luck this week.
I make no such promises. Wait, what?
I don't ever expect any kind of... I don't expect you to promise anything.
What do you mean, good luck this week?
Because you've got a week between the next time that we get together again. I'm hoping that things will go well for you. Is it wrong for me to wish you a good week?
Just the way you said it, I suddenly got an ominous... What's going on this week that I forgot?
Nothing at all. I'm clearing the tops of the trees facing to the west, south. Okay, I'm building a trebuchet in my side yard, okay? I'm trying to find out how I can get a primary strike ahead of you. Whatever, we'll see what happens. You have a good week.
I will try.
Brigid, guess what time it is?
It is that time.
Okay, we'll give you the free center square of fuck Mike Pence because it seems only fair to go ahead and so what's going to happen with this bingo card of yours tonight? We should have that. We should make a randomized bingo card of who she's going to go ahead and say to fuck off with. That's what we should do. That's what we need. We need to make those. I'm sorry. You were saying?
I'm gonna say fuck off, or fuck you to Lauren Boebert and Margarine Trader Green.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say fuck you to the state of Mississippi and to the SCOTUS.
What did I miss?
Their abortion ban thing.
Oh God, not another one. Oh, okay.
And SCOTUS is supposed to hear it December the 1st, but also there, was some people trying to overturn, not overturn, but put a stay on the Texas law, and SCOTUS had already shot down hearing it. Somebody appealed it again, and they're like, nope, we're not touching anything until December 1st. And so you assholes that are trying to make this, overturn Roe v. Wade, just fuck all of y'all.
That's great.
Oh, in Alabama, that link that I sent you about the frozen embryos that were dropped by the patient, and people decided they were going to sue for wrongful death, and the lawsuit was allowed to proceed. Whatever judge it was in Alabama, fuck you.
Great.
Do you know where that will lead?
We'll figure it out. But
Wrongful death for cryopreserved shit that got dropped on the floor? Really?
to balance that out, how about we have a collective way to go to the continuing efforts of the Satanic Temple? Because as much as Christians want to go ahead and say that, oh, you believe in a literal Satan. First off, the folks who are Satanists, no, they don't. You know who believes in an actual literal Satan? Christians. So screw y'all.
Oh, not to plug Netflix or anything, but I'm watching the series Lucifer. It is delightful.
Okay.
I've seen a handful of that, but
I haven't seen that, and I'm waiting for the next. I'm waiting for the next season of Letterkenny, but that's besides the point.
I know some people were trying to protest to get it taken off the air or whatever when it first came out and stuff, but because it's like it glorifies evil, and I'm like, no, he's just a narcissist, and doing good work to try to piss off his dad.
It wouldn't happen to be the 1,500 people that claim to be million moms.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. So,
but it's actually delightful. So, if you've got nothing to do, there's like 6 seasons of it out. Binge watch Lucifer.
So from all of us, a collective thumbs up to you guys over there at the Satanic Temple. Because, to borrow somebody's expression, we appreciate you because you're out there doing God's work. Yeah. Way to go, guys. Way to go.
Somebody's going to get paid.
You know what? Anybody from the Satanic Temple is more than welcome to come up on the show and have words at me again.
I don't think they would be the one.
Well,
you say that.
Payton.
Yes, we did.
We had Rick Payton on, and he is the chapter president in California.
Yes, and he was a wonderful person. He really was. Maybe you know what? Maybe we see if we get somebody again sometime in the near future, because I would love to do that again. Then again, I would also like to get Sam on sometime, when he's not being a pissant. As an aside, one really quickly. Our 600 episode greeting to the guys over there at Cognitive Dissonance did not show up on their actual 600th episode. It might show up on 600A, which is coming up this week. I'll be listening for it. I sure as hell hope the rest of you are too. Because, God, I can't wait to hear if they have anything to say about it. But we'll see. Meanwhile, again, everybody, please take care of yourselves. Keep having a good smile. And we'll be looking forward to seeing you again next week. So,
Yeah,
till that...
don't forget the next big holiday. November 1st. Half price chocolate day.
Okay, there is that. I was thinking November 2nd, which is election day again, which, by the way, I am going to drive and pick up TT because why the hell not?
See, I was going to assume it was November 1st, Smarty Dust on the Wind Day.
No, half price chocolate day.
I'm pretty sure half price chocolate days in February, but half price candy corn day, sure.
Well, they've got half price all their Halloween candy on November 1st.
Okay, I don't know what that all is. Felis, I am going to be looking up links. If you guys stick around over on the live chat, I will get links over there also. They're going to end up in the show notes anyway, in the for the show. But I will make sure that you get them momentarily. Anyway, again, take care of yourselves. Please be safe. Driving at night, highway overpasses, be attentive. People want to throw gourds. Please don't allow that to happen. Don't become a statistic. And we will see you again come next week. Till that time, as always, I wish you the peace I no longer have. I wish you the strength that I've learned. I wish you well, my lady. Too long later, I am still in love with you. Matane Fujin, I love you. I miss you. Stay fluffy. Dream of me. Till the next time we get together, everyone. As always, good night.